and Surah 18, the cave, and if thou bid them to guidance would be in 57, I think. Oh, that's what is. And if thou bid them to the guidance, yet will they not even then be guided ever. And gracious one, full of compassion, is thy Lord. If he would have chastisement, if he would have chastised them for their demerits, he would have hastened their chastisement. But they have a time fixed for the accomplishment of our menaces, and besides God they shall find no refuge. And those cities did we destroy when they became impious, and of their coming destruction we gave them warning. And remember when Moses said to his servant, I will not stop till I reach the confluence of the two seas. Are 4 years will I journey on, the two large bodies of water, one of the cataracts where the Niles join. Or for years will I journey on, but they reach their confluence. But when they reached their confluence, they forgot their fish, and it took its way in the sea at will. And when they had passed on, said Moses to his servant, bring us our morning meal, for now have we incurred weariness from this journey. He said, what thinkest thou? When we repaired to the rock for a rest, I forgot the fish, and none but Satan made me forget it, so as not to mention it, and it hath taken its way in the sea in a wondrous sort. He said, it is this we were in quest of, and they both went back, retracing their footsteps. Then found they one of our servants, to whom we had vouchsafed our mercy, and whom we had instructed with our knowledge. And Moses said to him, shall I follow thee, that thou teach me for guidance of that which thou hast been taught? And Moses and his companion, the the people of the cave, and Dhul-Qarnayn, the king of the two horns, Kurash. These were three questions answered by the surah that they didn't expect Muhammad to have any knowledge of, and this kind of proved them wrong, that he could have information revealed to them, because they had no idea how he make this better. And Moses said to him, shall I follow thee, that thou teach me for guidance for that which thou too hast been taught? He said, verily thou canst not have patience with me. How canst thou be patient in matters whose meaning thou comprehendest not? He said, thou shalt find me patient if God please, nor will I disobey thy bidding. He said, then if thou follow me, and ask me not of aught, until I have given thee an account thereof. So they both went on till they embarked in a ship, and he staved in it. What, said Moses, hast thou staved it in, that thou mayest drown its crew? A strange thing now hast thou done. He said, did I not tell thee that thou couldst not have patience with me? He said, chide me not that I forgot, nor lay up on me a hard command. Then went they on till they met a youth, and he slew him. Said Moses, hast thou slain him who is free from guilt of blood? Now hast thou wrought a grievous thing. He said, Did I not tell thee that thou couldst not have patience with me? Moses said, If after this I ask thee aught, then let me be thy comrade no longer. But now hast thou my excuse. They went on till they came to the people of a city. Of this people they asked food, but they refused them for guests. And they found in it a wall that was about to fall, and he set it upright. Said Moses, If thou hadst wished for this, thou mightest have obtained pay. He said, This is the parting point between me and thee, but I will first tell thee of the meaning of that which thou couldst not avail with patience. As to the vessel, it belonged to poor men who toiled upon the sea, and I was minded to damage it, for in their rear was a king who seized every ship by force. As to the youth, his parents were believers, and we feared lest he should trouble them by error and infidelity, and we desired that their Lord might give them in his place a child better than he in virtue and near to filial piety. And as to the wall, it belonged to 2 orphan youths in the city, and beneath it was their treasure, and their father was a righteous man. And thy Lord desired that they should reach the age of strength and take forth their treasure. Through the mercy of thy Lord, and not of mine own will, could I have done this. This is the interpretation of that which thou couldst not bear with patience. And just like the former 2 stories, the following story also has more detail in the teachings of the prophet, but God's revelation could have, you know, inspired him. It could have had more information, but not the words. But anyways, they will ask thee of Volcarnain, the 2-horned. Koresh the Great, when he united Medes and Persia, had a crown of 2 horns made and wore it, and thus he was known as such. Say, I was right to you an account of him. We established his power upon the earth, and made for him a way to everything, and a route he followed, until when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it to set in a miry fount, and hard by he found a people. And he saw the sunset. It was the time of the sunset. The Arabic clarifies this ridiculous thing that the sun sets and rises and sets, well, you'll see the other there, but anyways. We said, O Dhul-Qarnayn, either chastise them or treat them generously. The impious said he, Will we surely chastise him with a grievous chastisement? But as to him who believeth and doeth that which is right, he shall have a generous recompense, and we will lay on them our easy behests. Then followed he a route, until when he reached the rising of the sun, he saw it rise on a people to whom we had given no shelter from it. So he's the direction of the sunrise and the sunset from his, from the direction of his kingdom. Thus it was, and we had full knowledge of the forces that were with him. Then followed he a route until he... So, 92, Thumma al-Ba'a Sababa, then he followed a route, and the other, then he followed another way, 89, Thumma at-Ba'a Sababa, and 85, Fatba'a Sababa, so he followed away, very similar, all there. as well as in full knowledge of the forces of the earth, and then he followed her route until he came between the two mountains, beneath which he found a people who scarce understood a language, and they said, O Dhul Qarnayn, verily God of Magog wastes this land. Shall we then pay thee tribute, so thou wilt build a rampart between us and them? Demarcan? Is it Demarcan? Or, that there's this iron wall that kind of broke down in the 1200s of the Common Era. And Gog and Magog, Juj wa Majuj in Arabic, Sakas, and I'm sure there are other words for these people. They said, O Qarnayn, very Gog and Magog, waste this land. Shall we then pay the tribute, so thou wilt build a rampart between us and them? He said, better than tribute is the might therewith my Lord hath strengthened me, but help me strenuously, and I will set up a barrier between you and them. Bring me blocks of iron, until when it had filled the space between the mountain sides. Ply, said he, your bellows, until when he had made it red with heat. He said, bring me molten brass, that I may pour upon it. And Gog and Magog were not able to scale it, neither were they able to dig through it. This, said he, is a mercy from my Lord. But when the promise of my Lord shall come to pass, he will turn it to dust. And the promise of my Lord is true. And, that sort of has happened. It's kind of broken free, but metaphorically dealing with Persia, and literally dealing with not allowing Persia to defend it. The defense is gonna, from the steppes of Asia, Chinese and the Russians, But when the promise of my Lord shall come to pass, he will turn it to dust, and the promise of my Lord is true. On that day we will let them dash like billows one over the other, and there shall be a blast on the trumpet, and we will gather them together in a body. And so verse 100 through 110.
And we will set hell on that day close before the infidels,
As believers,
whose eyes were veiled from my warning, and who had no power to hear.
101. What do the misbelievers think that they can take my servants as their patrons besides me? Verily we have got
Hell ready as the abode to the infidels.
Shall we tell you who they are that have lost their labor most, whose aim in the present life hath been mistaken, and who deem that which they do is right? They are those who believe not in the signs of the Lord, or that they shall ever meet him. Vain therefore are their works, and no weight will we allow them on the day of resurrection. This shall be their reward.
Hell, because they were unbelievers, and treated my signs and my apostles with scorn.
But as for those who believe and do the things that are right, they shall have the gardens of paradise for their abode. They shall remain therein forever. They shall wish for no exchange from it. Say, should the sea become ink to write the words of my Lord, the sea would surely fail ere the words of my Lord would fail, though we brought its like an aid. Is it Surah 32 that has a similar verse to this? So, in a way, these are pairs. 32 and 76 are good to say of the dawn prayer of Friday. Though we thought it's like an aid. Say, in sooth, I am only a man like you. It hath been revealed to me that your God is one only God. Let him then who hopeth to meet his Lord work a righteous work, nor let him give any other creature a share in the worship of his Lord. And I give reasons for that why you don't worship other than God in another playlist. But anyway.